is up? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Stability Sculpt. Today we are putting an extra emphasis on everything to do with your hips. Hip strength, hip stability, because guess what? As much as we say that the core is the origin of all movement, you gotta have a strong core. If you wanna be strong at the stuff that you do outside of the core, your core lives on top of your hips. Your hips are the origin of so much of the movement we do, from walking to running to squatting. Like anything that involves your lower body, your hips are the first point that movement is going to originate from. All right, so it's really important that we have strong and stable hips. The whole idea behind Stability Sculpt is that we're slowing down so we can put an extra emphasis on form control and spend a little bit longer in those end range positions that we don't typically spend much time either during like weightlifting or higher impact or higher intensity workouts. So the way today's workout's going to work is we're going to have 6 exercises broken down into 2 circuits. We will end each circuit with combining the exercises of that circuit into a flow. Each circuit is a single-sided circuit, so while there's technically no repeats in this workout, we'll do all the exercises on the left side first, then you'll get a little break, then we'll do them on the right side, so it's no repeats, but we gotta balance at the sides, all right? If we're gonna have stability, we've gotta balance first. So that's how today's workout's gonna work. All you will need is yourself, your body, a bit of room to move around, as well as your optional team band. The team bands are back in stock. I'm so excited. What I love about these is that they're not that rubber that snaps and pinches and pulls on your skin. This is a nice soft fabric. We got the little non-slip strips inside so they don't move around during your workout either. So I'll put a link to grab yours in the description box down below. Otherwise, if you're ready to get started, make sure to shoot me a thumbs up and let's get into it. Getting into our first circuit, we're going to be starting on the left leg with a series of hinge-based exercises. So going ahead, turning to the side, putting your feet about shoulder width apart. What I want you to do is nice tall posture. Shift your weight to the left side. We're going to initiate this first exercise by sitting back at the hips as we reach with the right leg and the right arm. So when we put that together, it's going to look like this. All right, this will be 1 rep. Now, if you don't feel stable on this, what I want you to do is shorten the range of motion, whereas if that feels too easy, I want you to extend the range of motion. The key is that our knees stay a bit vertical over our ankle. We're sitting back at the hips, tummy tight, and we're aiming to make a straight line from the tip of our finger to the tip of our toe. So that is exercise number 1. Exercise number 2, same thing, but we're not going to be stepping with the right leg. We're just keeping it off to the side, keeping our weight on the left leg, hinge back. Just like that, arms should be making a straight line with the back all the way down to your hips. Final exercise in this first circuit will be a forward stepping version of that first exercise. So instead of stepping back, we're stepping forward like this. Obviously, our fingertips will not be in a straight line with the toes, but they should remain in a straight line with the hips. I'm gonna go ahead, add my light team band for this first circuit, because we're getting going right heck in now. Bringing the right leg beside the left, hinging from here. for the final flow to finish this circuit, I want you to combine all the exercises. So follow along with me. Stepping back, coming back to neutral, hinging from neutral, coming back, stepping forward, bringing it back to neutral, stepping back, and repeat. So we're doing 1 rep of each of those exercises we just did, and repeating this as part of a flow. All right, like that. Give your arms a little shake. I know that one got your shoulders a little bit. What we're doing now is we have just under 1:30 to get into our next circuit. So again, we're going to be targeting the left side, but our first exercise this time, I want your feet 2 big steps beyond shoulder width apart. What we're going to do is slow lower, leading with the left knee. Once you get as low as you can comfortably go, sit back at the hip, feel that stretch through the groin, control it from here. Bring it back forward and back up. So it's down as low as you can go. Sit it back. Whoop, don't fall backwards. Bring it forward and back up. That's exercise number 1. Exercise number 2, just turn your feet from here. What we're going to do is bending at the back knee as we hinge. Control that stretch in the hamstring, squeezing through the front foot to come back up and extending through this. All right? So just like this, a lot of stability on this one. Final exercise in this, what we're going to do is step that back leg forward. We're going to reach back with the right leg, bend the knee, and then come up into an airplane. So it's here, reaching it back, bending it down, up to airplane. Okay, this is a more advanced circuit. Do your best to keep up with me. Don't worry, we're gonna get there in time, because we are off right heck to now, starting with this exercise. From there, what I want you to do is come up, turn those feet around, and we're going to bend at the back leg as we control, hinging forward, feeling that stretch in the front leg, really controlling that deeper range of motion on the front hamstring. From here, stepping the right leg forward, we're going to do a nice big step back, bend the knee, and come up to airplane. There is no rush, there is no race here. I encourage you to take your time, go slow and controlled, and focus on that hip stability. Alright, we're going to put this all together into a flow. I do have a little bit extra time for us on this one because it is more difficult. So we're going to lower as we did on the first exercise. Extend back, bring it forward, back up, Turn those toes. Give me one rep here. Hinge. And as we come up, we're stepping forward with the right leg. Back, bend, up into airplane. Ooh, that's tough. Bring it back together. Step it out to the side and repeat. All right, like that. We have got a minute and 30 seconds before we do that all over again on the other side. So now's a great time to adjust your mat if you need to. I always seem to need to adjust my mat. This lady just doesn't want to stay on the ground. But grab a towel, grab a tissue, do what you gotta do. If you're gonna do a little foot stretch, I know my feet got a little crampy. Working out in socks or barefoot definitely makes these more difficult. And then we'll be getting going in just about a minute again on the right side for that whole thing all over again. So as a quick recap, if you want to do it with me now, first exercise of the first circuit, feet shoulder width apart, shift your weight to the right leg. We're going to sit back at the hips as we extend with the left leg and left arm. So it will look like this. Shift, extend, extend. Just like that. If that's too hard, shorten the range. If that's too easy, extend the range. All right, second exercise will be the one where we just keep the left leg neutral, all of our weight on the right, hinge from here. And the third exercise in that first circuit will be the forward stepping. All right, so again, stepping forward, just like that, as we hinge back at the hips. So I am gonna go ahead, add my light team band. I just find it helps keep a little bit more resistance on the hips, on those glute and hip stabilizer muscles, because we're off right back in. Now let's do it. Right into the neutral stance hinge. Keeping the weight on that right leg. Right into the forward stepping. exercises together into a flow, following along with me from the back step, bring it forward, neutral hinge, bring it forward, front stepping, and repeat. From back to neutral and into that forward step, doing 1 rep of each of the exercises we just did. Nice and slow, nice and controlled, focusing on restabilizing as we shift the weight with each variation. All right, like that, I'm gonna take off my band. We've got 1:30 until we go into our final circuit on the right side. So as a reminder, we'll be starting in that nice wide stance, feet about 2 big steps beyond shoulder width apart. And adjust the snatch, she's just all over today. So feet 2 big steps beyond shoulder width apart. We are going to be lowering to the right as far as is comfortable, sitting back at the hips, bringing it back forward, coming back up. So again, that's lowering as far as is comfortable, sitting back at the hips, bringing it forward, and back up. That's the first exercise. Second exercise, wiggle those feet around to face the other way, rotating to the right. What we're going to do is bend at the back leg, controlling the hinge as we lower, feeling that stretch in the right leg. I know it's unstable. Lowering as far as you can to maintain control and repeating like this. Final exercise, we step the back leg forward. What we're going to do is big step back with that left leg, down into a lunge, up into an airplane, keeping your balance. I lost mine a little bit there. We'll repeat that one more time. Big step back, down into a lunge, up into an airplane. All right, if you do have more balance on one leg than another, it's okay, it's normal, we're working on it, we're gonna get there. For now, let's get into this last circuit. All right, wiggling those toes to the side, bending at the back leg and controlling the lengthening of the right leg as we hinge back. Remember, it's okay if you wobble a little bit more on this side, if one of your sides is weaker than the other. Just bring your feet closer together and shorten the range if you need to. Forward. From here, we're going to do a nice step back, drop the knee, bring it up into airplane and back, taking it slow, controlled, and doing your best to stay stable. Rotating back to the front, we're gonna finish with that same flow, so combining all these exercises. Lower to the right with me, sit it back at the hips, bring it forward, raise back up, wiggle those toes, Give me that hinge. Coming up, stepping forward, back, lunge, airplane. All right, working to make this one smooth movement. Stepping back out, lowering down, sitting it back, bringing it forward, back up. Wiggle the toes and repeat. And like that, you've made it through another full body sculpt workout. How are we feeling? I feel rejuvenated. I feel refreshed. Even though I had a little bit of trouble with some of the exercises, my right leg is definitely always weaker than my left leg on these more stability-based moves. My hips, my body, my mind, I feel good. I feel like I'm taking care of my body, which is really what exercise should be about. So let me know what you thought of today's workout in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it, make sure to shoot me a thumbs up, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.